Welcome to Secret Love, ladies and gentlemen. Let's learn more about how to not only make a man's heart flutter but also keep him by your side. The secret is not in being outstanding, but in the subtle moments and the captivating presence. For a man, what attracts him is not always easy to recognize. But with the small but meaningful things, you can make him feel the irresistible attraction. This story is about making a difference and keeping the love flame burning. It is the simple actions, the silent moments, and mutual understanding that are the keys to a relationship becoming strong and passionate. And in this journey, you will see that building a deep relationship is not complicated. You just need to know how to connect with the heart and the small but extremely important details. 1. That is listening. My friend, being a good listener is a great way to attract guys. You need to listen to him attentively. However, don't act like you're absorbing every word he says. Just pay attention to the little details and show interest in them. And sooner or later he'll be curious about you. We can see, if in a few months after that conversation, when you meet again and you can still remember some details, he will be very impressed by your interest in him. To emphasize your interest in the issue he's talking about, you can ask him some questions. But don't argue with him because it will only make him stay away from you. Use body language to confirm that you understand what he's saying. Nod when you agree, and shake your head when you sympathize. The distance between you and him is also important. Too close is quite positive. And too far means you're not interested. When listening to what he says, try to lean your body slightly forward. It usually means that you are a good listener and willing to pay attention. Finally, remember everything he said, otherwise all your efforts will be in vain. Listening is not only an art of communication but also a way for you to build a deep connection with the other person. When you are truly attentive, small actions such as nodding, affectionate eyes or a timely question can make the other person feel your sincere interest. This not only makes you attractive but also builds a solid foundation for the relationship, where understanding and empathy become the key to bringing both of you closer together. 2. When you make eye contact. Eye contact is the most effective way to show your interest in a guy. If you like him, you should let him know by looking directly into his eyes. Eyes can tell more than words. It may sound unbelievable, but men are often hesitant to make the first move. Your confidence will be good for both sides. Moreover, eyes can both express feelings and arouse feelings of love. In experiments in the late 80s of the last century, scholars conducted research on the impact of eye contact. In that experiment, a man and a woman had to look into each other's eyes for a while. As a result, 1 to 2 minutes was enough for them to fall in love. And a classic and effective way of using eye contact is to look at him a few times. When you are talking to someone, accidentally look straight into his eyes for a second as if by accident. Repeat it a few times, and you will see how much he notices you. Eyes have the power to convey emotions that words cannot reach. When you know how to make subtle eye contact, you not only arouse attention but also create a special connection, opening up the opportunity for the feelings between the two of you to become deeper. 3. Don't move too fast. A reserved woman can easily stimulate the imagination of any man near her. Unfortunately, some of us can make a big mistake while applying this tactic. It must be said that being reserved does not mean rejecting all the messages of that guy if you really like him. In this case, your admirer will simply lose interest and find someone more approachable. That is why you should not be too indifferent to the person you love. The balance between mystery and closeness is the key to keeping a man. When you know how to maintain privacy while still showing enough interest, the relationship will have a chance to develop naturally and sustainably. 4. You don't share too much. We have one pair of ears, one pair of eyes, and only one mouth. Do you know why? So that we can observe and listen more and talk less. It is believed that most women talk a lot, especially if they are asked about their personal lives. However, we must realize that men do not get pleasure from chatting with girls. If he asks you some questions, it does not mean that you should start talking about yourself endlessly without giving him time to breathe. You should not focus too much on your personality. Instead, you should try to discuss some common topics that your interlocutor might find interesting. Talking about life, hobbies, problems, sports and politics will help both of you reveal your outlook on life and see if you have something in common. Try to dig deeper into your life and make sure he is interested. Observe his behavior while talking and draw conclusions about him. Don't tell everything about yourself. Leave some secrets, or end the story so that he will be eager to ask you more. The important thing to remember when talking to a man is to avoid boredom and awaken his desire to learn more about you. Keeping some secrets in your story will make you more interesting and attractive. When you know how to listen and share moderately, you will arouse curiosity, making the man want to know you more deeply. 5. You hide your emotions. Normally, whether you are happy or sad, your face will always show your emotional state. Therefore, you need to control your facial expressions whenever you meet the man you are interested in. Sure, your face should show your attitude towards what he says. But don't be too emotional. For example, if a guy tells you a funny story, you can smile a little. If you don't react, you will make him think he is boring. Modest behavior and emotional face will make him always curious about your thoughts. This is a nice way to create mystery with him. Manage your emotions towards private secrets. Imagine the situation. Your boyfriend and you are having dinner. Suddenly you notice your ex coming and sitting at the next table. Don't be startled, stiff or cold. Simply nod and continue talking to your boyfriend. If he is curious about this mysterious nod, tell him it is an old acquaintance. You should think carefully before saying something that can be misunderstood by your lover. Knowing how to control your emotions and keeping a secret in communication will make you attractive and unpredictable. When you keep a calm face and do not show too much emotion, he will always want to know more about you and be curious to explore your inner thoughts. 6. Have the right attitude and emotions. You should not expect that a guy will do everything possible to achieve your feelings. If your guy realizes your true feelings through your emotions and attitude towards him, he will not try to impress you anymore. Sooner or later he will feel bored because the easier it is to achieve, the less precious it is. However, do not try to appear too cold or indifferent. Otherwise he may be disappointed and give up. When he gives you flowers, do not be indifferent or scream with excitement. Simply smile, thank him and say the flowers are beautiful. You should not change him. A man can pretend to be someone else, more talented, more sociable or more attractive, to impress you. If you demand too much from him, like how successful he must be in his career, how surprising and romantic the gift must be, he may gradually get irritated and leave you. You should care, worry or praise him when needed. Your gratitude is a good motivation for your boyfriend to love you more and more. This is a great way to encourage men to do their best. If you have followed this far, please leave a comment. I want happiness. That is, you will give us more motivation to make more meaningful videos. If you have not clicked like, please give the video one like. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel to support. We will give you a heart. Thank you very much. 7. Have other interests. What are your interests? Watching TV? Going out? Reading the newspaper? Are you sure those are interests? How can you get the guy you want to win over to care about you if you don't have any interests to talk about? A girl with interests not only becomes beautiful and attractive, but also makes her mysterious and unique in the eyes of guys. He will definitely be surprised by your special interests. If you don't know what to do in your free time, you should try some useful activities that will definitely attract his attention and arouse his curiosity. The basic rule is that you have real interests and never lie to him about them. You shouldn't practice yoga if you hate it. And don't try to go hiking or trekking dangerous roads if you are scared to death. There are hundreds of different ways to impress him and still be comfortable. You can try many activities such as playing sports, volunteering, or making handmade items. Not only will it attract his attention, new activities will definitely bring you valuable life experiences with new friends. When in love, keeping love fresh and vibrant is not just the responsibility of one side, but the consensus of both. The secrets to making him fall in love are not just a formula for attraction, but also a way for you to better understand your own value in the relationship. Remember, love is not about keeping someone by your side, but how to make them want to stay voluntarily. Be a woman who knows how to create a sense of peace and attraction. Knows how to make every moment with you memorable. It is not about control, but about arousal. Make him not only love you but also feel cherished in this relationship every day. And the most valuable thing you can learn from this journey is, the secret of love lies in the balance between loving and keeping a little distance. Never lose yourself to hold on to anyone, because when you are confident and know how to master your emotions, you will always be the one to hold his heart in the most sustainable way. Are you ready to become the irreplaceable girl in his heart? The road ahead is full of challenges but also full of opportunities for you to create a more beautiful relationship than ever. Being vibrant is necessary, and one of the most effective ways is to nurture your own passion. Let yourself shine in a unique way. When you have hobbies that really make you passionate, you not only enrich your life but also make a difference in the eyes of the man you care about. This will make him feel that you are an interesting person and always bring surprises to the relationship. The story of Amara and Daniel. Amara is a young woman living in an ancient city in Europe. She works at a small library, where she spends her days immersed in books. But no one expected that. Behind her gentle appearance, Amara has a strong passion for painting on glass. One afternoon in March, Daniel, an architect who has just moved to the city, stopped by the library to look for documents on classical art. When he entered, his eyes were immediately drawn to Amara, who was carefully arranging books on the shelves. Daniel was impressed by her gentle demeanor but did not dare to talk to her. A few weeks later, Daniel happened to attend a local art exhibition and unexpectedly discovered a display of colorful glass paintings by Amara. He was surprised to learn that the ordinary librarian was such a talented artist. After the exhibition, he mustered up the courage to talk to her. "I didn't know you had such a special passion," Daniel said, his eyes sparkling with admiration. "Actually, I've always thought that we should do what makes us happy," Amara replied with a gentle smile. Their conversation lasted for hours. Daniel talked about the architectural works he loved, and Amara shared the inspiration behind each of her stained glass paintings. The similarity in their outlook on life and passion for creativity brought them closer together. From then on, Daniel often visited Amara's library or gallery, not only to seek inspiration but also to spend more time with her. Every time he was with Amara, he felt the freshness and special energy emanating from the girl with deep passion. Lessons from Amara. The story of Amara and Daniel shows that living true to your passion not only makes you attractive but also creates lasting attraction in the eyes of the other person. Never be afraid to pursue what you love, because that is what makes you special and irreplaceable. Always remember, when you love life and are confident in yourself, you will easily spread that positive energy to others, especially the people you want to keep by your side forever. Starving love, a warning for hearts that are gradually fading apart. In love, nurturing emotions is like tending a small fire. If you keep adding firewood, the fire will burn brightly and warmly. But if you let it die out, love will gradually grow cold and disappear. Starving love is when we stop giving attention, understanding, and loving actions to the person we cherish. Signs of a starved love. 1. Prolonged silence. Conversations become increasingly rare. Questions suddenly become blunt. Silence is no longer comfortable but becomes distance. 2. Lack of sharing. The other person no longer wants to tell you the little things in life. Joy and sadness become strangers. 3. Heartbreaking indifference. Even though they are together, people still feel lonely, as if their feelings are no longer appreciated by the other person. The meaning of nurturing love. Love needs to be nurtured every day. Not with lavish gifts but with small things. A surprise hug, a gentle greeting, or simply being fully present. Love is like a garden. If you leave it alone, weeds will overtake it, and beautiful flowers will wither. When love is starved, no one in the relationship feels complete. The giver feels exhausted because of the lack of reciprocation. The receiver gradually gets used to the coldness and loses the feeling of gratitude. That is when love becomes fragile and easily broken. Love like the first day. If you feel that love is lacking life, do not blame time or circumstances. Remember the early days, when both of your eyes used to shine for each other. Together, learn to say thank you and sorry, because that is the language of appreciation. Find joy in simple things, like taking a walk together or reminiscing about good memories. Take time to listen and understand each other's feelings instead of focusing on your own. Love doesn't die in a day. It fades little by little because of lack of attention and indifference. Don't let the person you love live in silence and lack of emotions. Remember, the heart doesn't need anything big. What it needs is the feeling of being loved, remembered, and appreciated. Don't let your love become an unfinished story just because both of you accidentally forgot about it. Sophia once thought that the love between her and Liam would last forever, like an eternal flame in the wind of life. In the early days together, they were like two perfect pieces. Liam always held Sophia's hand tightly every time they crossed the street, his eyes sparkling with things that didn't need to be said. Sophia felt like the happiest girl in the world, because Liam's love for her was gentle enough, yet strong enough to warm her heart. However, love is not a constant thing. It needs to be cared for, nurtured, and perhaps both Sophia and Liam forgot this. The early days of silence. Liam started coming home later. The messages, "Have you eaten yet?" or "How was your day?" gradually became less and less frequent. At first, Sophia comforted herself. Maybe he's just busy. It's work. Everyone gets tired sometimes. But that distance grew bigger and bigger. So much so that every evening sitting next to each other, they had nothing left to say. Sophia remembered the times when she told Liam about work. His eyes were no longer focused on her like before. He nodded but his heart seemed to be drifting somewhere else. Once, she tried to ask him, "Are you listening to me?" Liam just answered vaguely, "Yes." Continue. But Sophia's heart knew clearly. He was no longer really present. She still tried to keep things going. She texted him more, asked him more, but in return, she only got short, superficial answers. "I'm busy," he said, and then, There were no more evenings sitting together watching their favorite movies. No more times Liam suddenly hugged her from behind and said, "I miss you." Sophia didn't know when she started to feel lonely in her own relationship. Invisible wounds. One night, when Liam came home, Sophia prepared a meal with his favorite dishes. She expected a compliment, a smile, but he only said, "I ate out today." "You eat." The chopsticks in Sophia's hand stopped. She looked into Liam's eyes, but all she saw was coldness and distance. That night, Sophia lay alone in her room, tears flowing endlessly. She wondered, what did I do wrong? Why doesn't he love me like before? But then, she realized, the problem was not who was right and who was wrong. The problem was that both of them had let love starve for too long. Liam no longer saw Sophia's small efforts. As for Sophia, she spent too much time trying to hold on to someone who was gradually letting go. To the point of forgetting to love herself. Facing the truth. One day, Sophia decided to talk to Liam. She sat across from him, her eyes full of seriousness. "Liam, I want to ask you something. We used to love each other very much, right?" Liam looked up at her, his eyes a little surprised. "Yes. But I don't know when things changed. Did I do something wrong? Or did you stop loving me?" Liam was silent for a long time, then replied, "It's not your fault. It's just, I don't think I have enough energy to continue. We've let this love go by itself for too long." His answer was like a knife cutting through Sophia's heart. But instead of blaming her, she just nodded, her eyes painful but no longer tearful, freeing herself from the hunger of love. From that day on, Sophia began to take the time to look back at herself. She realized that love can only exist when both people make an effort. When one person stops trying, the other person cannot carry on forever. Sophia did not blame Liam. She understood that the fault did not lie with one person, but with both of them who let love be forgotten in the chaos of life. She decided to let go. Not because she stopped loving him, but because she realized that love cannot exist with just one side's stubbornness. A message to the hearts in love. Don't let your love starve. Don't think that he will always be there, always love you without care. Love needs to be nurtured every day. With gentle words, small but meaningful actions. Love as if today is the last day you can love. Because if you don't take care of it, love is like an unwatered flower. It will wither and never bloom again. If you find the video useful, please share it with others. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next video.